Hello, good morning everyone, and we are going to start today a new topic which is problem management from ITIL 4. So we'll see what we are going to study ahead and how we are going to understand this new term of problem management. So the first question comes in: what is the problem that we will be discussing ahead? Second, the three-phase life cycle of a problem, not problem management, or you can say PBR tickets. And the third one is known error and known error databases. So about these three things we are going to understand and we are going to learn it ahead. So how we are going to understand and everything. So what is a problem? A cause or a potential cause of one or more incidences. So now, if you understand that what is a problem, like a cause or potential cause of one or more incidents, so it means there is a problem, or problem is focused on the cause which is actually incurring or occurring the incidents repeatedly, and we are trying to resolve that particular concerns or cause completely, so that with that particular cause they will not be able to create any other incidents, which is very much important to understand and to check onto it. So the first point, you just need to understand that how a problem can be verified or how a problem can be categorized. So first one is reactive problem, raised after incidents occur, investigates root cause of existing recurring incidents. So it is reactive problem which is going to happen in once the problem has happened, once the ticket has came, multiple tickets you have seen, and then afterwards the team is going to investigate it deeply and they will identify the cause of those incidents and they will resolve it. Then comes proactive problem. This is one of the best way. If you can be able to do it proactively, it is nice. So raise before any incidents comes in, identifies potential causes through trend analysis or monitoring. So simple example, you have multiple uh, tools for monitoring your infrastructure, your network, your systems and other things, and you can percept or assume or make a guess depending on the data you are having in your hand, so that you will be able to identify and you will be able to resolve those problems before they occur actually. Then comes real world example. So real world example is nothing but a problem which is happening regularly. By some reasons or because of some reasons you are not able to resolve them, but you need to work onto it. It can be a reactive problem or it can be a proactive problem. CPU rising from 60% to 80% over a month, no incident yet, team raises problem to investigate those. That's proactive. So anything like you are seeing or you are observing, but you want your team to check it before it creates any kind of issues. So problem is nothing but a kind of cause of multiple incidents. So you need to work it out and you need to resolve those causes so that you will not be able to face any further issues. Then comes a detective analogy we will try to understand with that. Think of a problem like a detective investigating a crime scene or something like this. So suppose there has been an incident which happened, and first responders like your service desk team, they responded to the incident, and then consider that team as ambulance or police arrive. So they stabilize the situation, they understand, they talk to the users, they restore the service immediately, they close the incident. So what actually they have focused? They have focused on speed, how early we can resolve those problems. But when we talk about problem management, so problem management is nothing but they are not focused on speed. They are focused on depth actually. So what actually caused this particular incident? What actually creates such kind of problems? They will try to identify this root cause of this particular problem. They will document all kind of errors whichever has passed through this particular incident and problems. So they deeply investigate the complete cause of those particular tickets which came in past, and then they will decide that what they need to do or how they are going to handle the problem. So incident equals to restore services. problem is equals to prevents the reoccurrence. So this makes sense to understand and how you people are going to work ahead. Then comes three phase of problem management. So first we will discuss problem identification. So problem identification is what? Problem identification, how you are going to identify the problem. So detect from recurring incidents, trends, proactive monitoring signals, supplier, vendor notification. So there are plenty of things which you can use to identify a problem. So suppose you are getting a similar kind of incident also in your office or for your environment. So then in that case, what is happening? You are able to identify a trend out of those incidents, that okay, this is what it is happening, and this is because uh, we have got received some multiple incidents in the past, and now we will be able to work on those incidents to identify the cause. So maybe you are getting a regular incident regarding to your memory increase of firewalls, or you are getting some incident for servers where RAM is getting consumed. So you have seen some multiple incidents which have came in, and then afterwards you are trying to resolve them up. Then comes the second phase, problem control. How you are going to control the problem? Analyze and investigate the problem. Conduct a root cause analysis, identify the root cause, document findings and workarounds. Resolution or known error records. So this is a way of controlling a kind of problem which is coming in. So where you have few steps to follow, like you have to investigate, analyze the problems. You will check that why these things are coming, what is resulting to these incidents comes in. There is a power outage, there is a extra consumption of those resources of your servers, maybe your firewall. So something like this, you have to always check. You will identify the root cause, you will identify the workarounds provided by the teams, you will look for the findings or document all those findings, and you put it up on the known error databases. So once you put it up there, what will happen? These resolutions or these solutions of those problems are kept into your knowledge base or known error database as a kind of record, and anyone who is having the access to that, they can go and they can check that okay, if some kind of issue is coming, then I'll be able to refer to this KEDB and will be able to resolve that particular issue. Then comes the third one, error control. So manage all known errors in KEDB, provide workarounds to service desk, monitor for permanent fix availability, raise change request to resolve. So guys, I'll let you know to identify that what has happened, why we are talking about change request over here. So change request is like why we are coming up. So problem, suppose as we talked, the problem is looking for the depth, and they are looking for the root cause of that particular incident coming in, and they are trying to resolve it. So mostly problem tickets, what happens, they involve your vendors also, they involve your senior level teams as well, and they identify the major problem. And most of the times what happens, the senior level team or the vendors provide you solutions which you need to resolve that, and which you need to work onto it by raising some changes, because those solutions are complicated and it needs change for all the devices or all the IT infrastructure which is you are using in your organization. So it should not be always for one site, for one location. It could be for all the sites and all the locations. So maybe you need a change request for that to work around. Second point I would like to explain you guys, maybe you are feeling a doubt, that provide a workarounds to service desk. Now what does that means? So providing a workaround means is like you are still not having a complete solution of that problem, or you are still working on that problem because the size is big. You are not capable of resolving the complete solution or providing the complete solution to the whole organization. So you need some time for that. And then in that case, what happens? You will not be able to immediately give a permanent fix. So it's better you give a problem workaround to the service desk. They use that workaround, they resolve the problems, and the users are able to run their services, and then lately they'll be able to get the permanent fix once the problem is closed. So The goal is to reduce the likelihood and impact of the incidents by finding and removing their root causes. So once you have the root cause, you will be able to resolve the issue more efficiently and more easily on the coming period of time. So what is a root cause? How it can be identified? How it can be uh, understood that what has happened, what has gone wrong. So there are two techniques, guys, for identifying a root cause analysis or doing a root cause analysis. So you need to actually, under a root cause analysis, you need to identify the core issue which has resulted to those multiple incidents, and you need to check with that. So there are two techniques which we are having right now or commonly used. First one is five whys technique, and the second one is fishbone diagram or Ishikawa diagram we will talk about as. So first we will talk about five whys. Five whys, what it does: email servers. So we are taking a simple example. So problem was email server goes down repeatedly. So frequently your email server is getting down. Now you try to identify the cause by using the five whys. Means you are asking five why questions to your teams, to your other stakeholders, so that you will be able to identify the concern. So now, mail server crashes. First question: why it crashes? Why disk becomes full? You will get some answers like people are using and saving some wrong data onto it. Why log files are not cleared? Now you will having an answer that log files are not cleared on the system, so its disk is getting full, right? No automated cleanup was configured, so because of that it is there and people are not deleting it. So no one owned this configuration task. Now you got five steps, and out of those five steps you are able to identify few things. And now the problem is, suppose you are not getting your answer after fifth why as well, so you can go ahead with the same why questions till you are getting the resolution of those things. So this is what the problem RCA solution is, that you need to understand that root cause analysis, you have to understand that, and you can work onto it. So root cause is process gap, no ownership of the configuration task. So कोई भी in your organization is not taking the ownership of that particular configuring task, because of which it has happened and it has gone on the wrong way. Next is Ishikawa bone diagram or fish bone diagram. So we need uh, people, process, technology, and environment. No training, wrong skills, no cleanup procedures, no automated monitoring was there, underpowered hardware. So result is problem, root causes, known error or permanent fix. So this is happening in that way, right? So you have to check all those things and to understand that what it is happening and why it is happening. Okay. So this is what the scenario is, and this is what the technique is. Okay. So this is where we are working, and it is not completely happening. So you have to understand that how you can be able to proceed. So result, known error or permanent fix, we can provide with this Ishikawa diagram. So I'll be explaining you these two technologies or these two way of techniques to understanding the RCA. Now go ahead. So there is five why process: root cause analysis or identification of root cause analysis. So you ask five why questions to the users or stakeholders, and you get the root cause. So this is what it works. By repeatedly questioning the reasons behind an issue, organization can identify the fundamental cause and develop effective solutions to prevent recurrence. This approach helps organizations solve problems as at their root, ensuring long-term effectiveness of improvements. So this 5 by process is as simple as that it always see or it always get you some questions answered which help you to identify the root cause. That's it. Then comes Ishikawa diagram. So cause and effective analysis. So if you can see, the fish head is representing the problem and fish's tail is representing the effect. So now on the bones, if you can see, so you are having some multiple options like materials, people, methods, measurement, environment, machinery. So all these categories or related categories, you will write each and every causes one by one, and then you will be able to identify that what has gone wrong and what created the problem to this. So this is what a Ishikawa diagram for us. Now we can come up with this thing, known error and the known database, known error database, which we call as. So now the bridge between problem management and faster incident resolution is this particular database which helps you out to understand or to store the solution of the problems which have occurred repeatedly in the past and you are working on to it. A problem that has been analyzed and diagnosed with a workaround available but no permanent fix is deployed. So known error is called as there is a problem but we are not having any permanent issues right now. So we have given a type of workaround to the service desk team so that they can run that fix for a while and user is not getting stopped by using those services, and once we will have a proper solution we will start working on it. So all those known error solutions or known errors are saved in KEDB, which is called as known error databases. So a structured base database of all known errors, storing the workaround for each. So the service desk can resolve related incidents immediately. Think of it as a recipe book. Look up the fix instead of figuring it out from scratch every time. So result, next time a related incident occurs, service just finds the workaround in KEDB instantly, cutting MTTR from hours to minutes. So MTTR is previously we have seen that it is mean time to resolve an incident. So this time will be reduced. So now they don't need to reach out to any of the users. They don't need to reach out to any person onto it, and they will be able to work onto it. Okay. So the time to resolve an incident will get reduced and team will be able to work onto it more efficiently. So now we will talk about the problem versus incident versus known errors. So try to understand that, guys. Unplanned service disruption, any incident which is the services people are using properly and now they got an unplanned service disruption can be considered as incidents. So incidents, when you get those incidents, it is responsibility of the team to restore the service immediately. Root cause is not required, but the goal is to fix that service as soon as possible and give your user a nice stable environment to work onto it. Okay, so this is what incident is known as. Then comes problems. So problems are nothing but a kind of root cause identification which people need to identify. So they need an investigation. They need to identify the root cause. They need to eliminate that problem permanently. So you will not get a repeated incident. Now comes the known error. So known error is what any problem which is diagnosed but it is not yet permanently fixed. So that known error is always having a workaround which helps users to use the services unstoppably so that they can be able to work onto it. Okay, so restarting the systems, restarting that any of the services on your systems to work on. So these things help you to use as a workaround. As per exam scenario, exam point of view, most of the times you will be asked such questions like root cause known plus workaround documented plus no permanent fix equals to known error, not a resolved problem. So just make sure. So what you are getting is you know the root cause, you have a workaround documented, there is no permanent fix, so it can be considered as a known errors. Sometimes users make a mistake and they consider it as a problem, but it is not a problem, it is called as a known error. Then comes how problem management connects. So try to understand that what are the parts of problem management and how they are connected to your other services like practices like incident management, service management, then change management and everything. So first thing is your incident management, right? What is that? Feeds and problems. Recurring incidents trigger problem records. KEDB plus workaround flowback. Okay, so recurring incidents is a trigger for problem. As I told you already, that any incident which is happening repeatedly from the same location, same on the same devices, is can be considered as a problem, or it can be goes into your KEDB plus workaround flowback. So you handle these incidents by having a known error database and a workaround for that particular problem. Then comes service desk. So service desk is related to how service desk uses KEDB to resolve related incidents instantly. So which we talk about that those KEDBs are a kind of solutions or a workaround to those incidents which service desk is working on. Then comes your change enablement. So deploys the fix. Try to understand that. So if one problem is resolved and they have the permanent fix, now the senior team members need to deploy those fixes for all the devices, maybe on email server, maybe on servers, maybe on AD servers, maybe on network firewalls, maybe on switches. So all these deploy fix or the uh, known solutions of a problem, they need some time to get deployed. And as they start planning to deploy, they need to create or make changes accordingly, and then they will be able to deploy that. Then comes continual improvements. So continual improvements is what problem trends and recurring root causes fuel improvement initiatives. Now suppose as email server is getting full sooner and it is not responding properly. So what will happen? The team and management is able to understand or identify that okay, this is what is happening because of that email server is having a less number of resource. So there is lack of RAM, there is lack of hard drive space. So they need to be checked, they need to be improved or increased, and then afterwards it can be worked in that way. Now, guys, it will come as we need to understand that how each and everything has worked. We have understood about problem management. We have understand about how problem management is connected to your other practices like incident management, service desk, change management, continual improvements. What are the differences between problem management and incidents and errors? We have discussed how problem managements are created and handled. Now we will go through with some of the questions which are expected to be asked into your examinations. So one by one we will understand that on the further slides. Question 1. Which of the following best describes a problem in ITIL 4? So there are three options. The correct one is still away. So an unplanned disruptions to service request or reduction in quality is known as incidents. A request for access to an IT service or resource is called a service request. A change that has been rejected by the change authority is a change ticket. But the fourth one or the option B is a cause or a potential cause of one or more incidents can be considered as a problem, right? So try to understand that that problem is not an incident, request or a change. It is a cause of some potential incidents can be considered as problems. Now going on the second questions. Second question is a monitoring tool detects risk rising disk users and then the IT team raises a problem record before any user is affected. What type of activity is this? So if you can read this question thoroughly, it says or gives you the answer also. A monitoring tool detects risk rising disk users and the IT team raises a problem. So what is happening over here? The team is already monitoring those issues, those concerns, and they are proactively raising the problem record. So what kind of activity it should be? Reactive problem identification? No. Incident escalations? No. Error control? No. It is a proactive problem record which users are raising now. So this is what how you will identify on your questions as well. Now this proactive is called to identifying potential causes before incidents occur, which we call it, which I have told you already. And now in the question you can see that IT team is already monitoring that proactively. And reactive is once the incident has happened and you are having some records, now you are working on to raising a problem record. Question number 3, it is dependent on known error. So a root cause has been identified and a workaround documented, but no permanent fix has been deployed. What is this? So it is not a resolved problem because there is No permanent fix has given. Closed incident, obviously it is not a closed incident we are talking about. A service request, neither. So the fourth point is you have a known error which is not having a permanent fix but it is having a workaround. Question number 4. So question number 4 says which ITIL 4 practice is responsible for deploying the permanent fix identified through the problem management? Incident management? No. Problem management itself? No. Service request management itself? No. So what it is? It is change enablement. So any big deploy fix or fix you need to deploy for any problem, you need to have that change management in process, in place, and then you can be able to deploy them nicely. Then comes the fifth question for KEDB purpose. What is the primary purpose of KEDB? So to log all open and closed incident? No, that is another part. To document all pending change requests? It is never be a part of your known error database or problem management. To track SLAs, this is also not a part of your problem tickets or known error databases. So what is that? To store workarounds. So related instance can be solved more quickly by the service desk team till the team is not able to get a permanent fix for any of the problems, right? So this is what 5 questions we have discussed related to the problem management. Now guys, 3 things we need to manage or to understand regarding problems. So what are they? So it is problem equals the cause of incidents or real or potential. So raise problems proactively. You don't need an incident to occur at first. So potential cause is like you are able to see that what is happening on your system by your monitoring tool and they are working onto it, and you identify that there is a problem which may cause an error in further coming future, then you raise the problem record and you started working onto it. Second, 3 phases: identify the problem, control the problem, and error control. So identification logs it. If you identify the problem, you will log a problem record. Problem control, you need to investigate the problem deeply by using your 5Y and Ishikawa diagrams, and then error controls that you, until you are not getting a permanent fix of that particular problem, what you will do, you will create those error control and then you will update the KEDB. So the junior level team will be able to understand that and they will be able to create those or resolve those tickets. Then comes known error equals to diagnose plus workaround plus no permanent fix yet. So it says that you know the error, you have identified the issue actually, you have a workaround, but you are not having the exact permanent fix. So till then, until you are not getting the permanent fix, you will keep this particular issue or this information on a known error database. So what will happen? The teams will go to those databases and they will be able to search it out that okay, what is the problem, what we are doing onto it, okay, and how we can be able to provide that resolutions to that particular user. So guys, this is what we had today in problem management discussions. I hope I made you lot much things clear with this problem management practice, and if you guys liked it, then like the channel, then subscribe it, help it out. Your appreciation helps me up to understand and to create videos more and more. And next we will be able to discuss on change enablement. Thanks for joining us guys, and see you soon on the next lecture of this ITIL 4 complete guide. Thank you very much guys. Thanks a lot.